As the 2026 new year dawned, I started my 60th year birthday celebrations with a trip to Stonehenge with my sisters. We were here at 7:48 in the morning when these first pictures were taken, and we waited eagerly with the other people to be taken on a minibus up to the stone circle. I didn't really know what to expect because I'd heard so much about the commercialism of Stonehenge and how it doesn't feel like a sacred site anymore. But being an absolute lover of stone circles, it had to be one that I wanted to experience. And I have to say, I was impressed. I loved being within the stones to get the feeling of how huge they are, but also the energy within the circle. There is still energy within that circle, and to be able to experience it, I know you can go in for free during the solstices, but this was a much smaller, much more intimate experience. There were guides there, you could ask them any questions, but for me it was just about feeling the energy, experiencing the whole. We had a good hour there, and it was just fascinating. And at one time, all the rooks and crows were literally circled along the top of the stones all the way around, sitting. I counted about 27, and it was like they were the sentries, the ones that have been looking after it for all the generations. But it was a very special occasion for me because it was actually on my birthday, and my sisters, unbeknown to me, have bought a banner with 60th on, and this was the symbolic occasion for me. So I literally stepped out of my 50s into my 60s in a really magical place. And the ever-changing light we saw as the sun rose, and how it moved, because it wasn't far long after the winter solstice, so we were actually able to see the sun rise in a very similar spot to where it was only the previous weeks. So yeah, magical and very worthwhile. After a -5 degrees start and a couple of snow showers with the sun was very welcome. So we then, after our lovely experience, stopped off in the cafe for a breakfast before heading off to White Horse Hill, Tuffington. And from there we walked across the frosty paths along the ridgeway up to Waylands Smithy. Now there's been a lot of bad press about Waylands Smithy being used by the wrong people, shall we say, over the past, but I found it a very beautiful, very calm, very peaceful site, and I'm really glad we went to see it. Wayland Smithy is an ancient Neolithic chambered long barrow, and it gets its name from Wayland, who was a mythical Saxon blacksmith, farrier basically, who would magically reshoe travellers' horses overnight if they left a coin, and then they could return in the morning and they would found their horse shod. Obviously it's a lot earlier than the Saxon times, but it's still a magical place to visit. After a lovely walk back to the car park to get our car, we then went off to the White Horse pub at Woolston, which was amazing. I have to say the food was absolutely excellent. They were so kind to fit us in. We didn't realise how busy they got and we should have booked, but they accommodated us because it was my birthday and I'm really grateful. And then it was really good fun because there was a young couple sat next to us and it was her birthday too, so double celebration. Not wanting the day to end, we decided to take a little bit further trip on to Avebury, and we managed to get an hour and a half there visiting some of my favourite stones before the sun set and the moon rose. And it had been a really lovely day in some of my favourite places. big thank you to my sister Lorraine and her family for hosting an amazing birthday party just to round up a fabulous day. To my sister Philippa for riding shotgun in the car because it's a long drive down there, and to my mum for treating us all to that lovely pub lunch. It was the best way to start the year, the best way to start a 60th birthday year. Thank you.